This episode of OMGLoL is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to OMGLoL, your weekly League of Legends drama show for episode 8 right here from February 6, 2012. I'm Gary Gannon, this is GameBreaker TV. We've been gone a little while. Yes, we know. But I'm here with my man, Shaun Delaney, Forecourt Jester. What is up, sir?
It's all good. Happy New Year to you too, Mr. Gary.
Happy New Year. Yeah, between episodes 7 and 8, we've took a little break, but we're back, and we're doing the show live every Wednesday at 3 PST, so come on over and hang out for that. Always a good time. First up, before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know about something we're going to try this week. We're going to start the GBL, little community thing. It's got community casting and free beer. Not really free beer, but community and casting. With our very own Mr. Shaun Delaney right here on the casting, on the mic. How's this going to work, Shaun? It's basically like people show up, you're going to throw out the password, and kind of the first 10 people to get in kind of form 2 teams and go?
Yep, it's pretty much. It's going to be community driven. So whoever shows up gets in, first come, first serve. And during the cast, you know, of course, the big play is going to be happening. The community itself can vote on who the MVP is, and that MVP will receive $10 of RP courtesy of GameBreaker TV.
No way! $10 of RP!
Yep. I know.
Holy F&S. Big spenders right here on GameBreaker TV. It's about all we can afford. No. Yeah, so we'll give away 3 cards. We'll see how it goes. First week, we're going to try it. So that's going to be this Friday. What's the date?
Yes, sir.
What's the date? I don't remember the date.
8th.
What's the
February 8th.
The 8th. Friday the 8th at 5. Check it 5 PST. Show up right here on GameBreaker.tv for Mr. Shaun, Forecourt Jester Delaney, shoutcasting the GBL. All right, so it's been a while since we talked. It's been since like January. Back in January, the League of Legends Championship Series, they had the qualifiers on both sides. By the way, we're gonna go back a little bit. It's not gonna be this week's draw. We're gonna kind of catch everybody up because we've been away so long. So, but during and after the competitions, multiple pro players got hit by the ban hammer from Riot, huh?
Yeah, the month of January, we saw multiple people either getting disallowed from going into the LCS, or as a result of various things, they were actually banned out of the LCS. So, for example, last year, we talked about Absolute Legends, how they had a pause trick and a ghost spectator, and they actually admitted to it, lost their sponsorship, and then Riot came out and said, hey, guys, we're not going to allow you to play in the LCS. And that means, you know, no chance of becoming a Riot employee, no chance at the salary, no chance of that pro status. But they weren't the only ones, because during the LCS, the GOAT Zoo, the Phantom Lords team, actually had a little bit of a player crisis, and they used an unregistered sub at the last minute. Riot kind of found out about it, they admitted to it, and then they got disqualified. And then after the EU LCS, both Leanak from AAA and Envision from Mouse both also got permabanned out of the game. But that wasn't their first. I mean, I think between them, they had something like 15 banned accounts. Pretty toxic players. But I don't know what was January, man. But
so they have a manager who's running the ship over there. 15 banned accounts. Maybe you want to look into what the heck is going on. There might be where there's smoke. It's all tribunal, and that's like a forest fire. You know, out of control. You think you think Riot's gotten even a little bit tougher in the past few months for the new season?
Well, considering that they're going to be paying people salaries, and they're going to be doing all these weekly events, monthly events, these big teams are about to become big stars. Yeah, I mean, they have to be kind of tough. They can't let anything that they don't agree with, that doesn't work in the Summoner's Code, slip through the cracks. So they've definitely toughened up. Tribunal is, you know, still working. People are still getting banned, including pro accounts. I mean, I Will Dominate got banned out before everything back last year, but he's on good behavior, so we might actually see him come back. But yeah, these guys, Goatsu, no chance. Absolute Legends guys, no chance. That's Zekin, that's Robert Exley. And Leanak and Envision both were disallowed from the EU LCS that weekend as well. So yeah, they're getting tougher. They're getting banned. They're getting tougher, and it's good.
So not even with even beyond bans, we had the drama from the LCS. We also had a bunch of team mix-ups, some trades, retirements occurring. Bring us up to date on that. What's going on with Counter Logic Gaming?
Well, Counter Logic Gaming it's not like huge drama, but just it seemed almost out of nowhere that Big Fat Gigi announced that he didn't want to play anymore. He wanted to take a sub route. And because they already had a sub, that means that the subs Link115, the only remaining player from CLG Black, got actually promoted up to frontline. So at the same time, they were still looking for a support player, and that's when Aframu joined them, and that means that he left Fear. So it's like, it's almost like trading at this point. It's like, well, all right, I'm going to take a back seat. We're going to promote a sub, and we're going to get a new player. And now Counter Logic Game, they are going to be in the LCS. They seem to be pretty solid about all of this. And, so it wasn't like huge, but it was kind of strange how all of that kind of coincided at the same time.
The big news this is back in January, I believe, as well. The big news this hit, and I think everybody's jaw kind of dropped, was Moscow 5 officially shutting down. What happened there? I mean, was it sponsor issues and money? Well, ultimately, I guess you could just leave it at that. But for a while now, I mean, we've seen so many charges up against Moscow 5 because of credit card fraud. The owner apparently is in like this multi-million-dollar online credit card fraud scandal. Really? I didn't even know this. Tell me about this.
Yeah. Well, I think it's stretched almost a whole year now, because back last year when I was doing MOBA Weekly, we talked about that a few times. But yeah, the U.S. actually seized the president when he was on a trip with the team, and they shipped him off to the FBI, and now he's facing charges of credit card fraud in the multi-millions. So because he's still in custody and all that money's now been cut out, Moscow 5 just shut down. So yeah, lack of a sponsor, lack of money. You kind of need those things to keep going.
Turn it into a dirty, dirty game. Now we got people with credit card fraud. So Moscow 5 shuts down. What happened to Team Fear? They handed over their team to, was it Vulcan?
It looks like that Team Vulcan has bought the remaining contracts from Team Fear, and Fear was more than happy apparently to get rid of the League of Legends team. Now in the Reddit thread, the team manager Gnome Sayan was trying to answer a few things. The initial announcement was kind of misleading. It almost sounded like Vulcan was under Fear, but then she cleared it up, saying that it's actually a separate. My phone. It's a separate organization that actually bought out the remaining time on the contracts. So they're now Vulcan, and this is right after LCS, where Fear actually got into the LCS. So now Riot had to do all this scrambling around on their websites to replace all the logos, and they had to get a new website up. They also now have a new sub player. So it was kind of strange out of the blue. Was there any kind of statement released on like why they were selling over the contracts or anything, of what actually initiated this switch, or are they staying quiet? The only thing that was cited was Call of Duty. Fear has some pretty decent Call of Duty teams out there, so apparently they want to go that way, which is why they kind of like auctioned off the contracts. Now, this was not a switch made by the team, because the team has switched sponsors quite a few times now. But this was not their move. They kind of had to go with it because they had to follow their contract.
Now, next up, big feud sounds like it's going on over from the Azubu TV stuff. Now, did they, really quickly, so Azubu Frost, the team, they started the website. I guess it's in beta, but it's not really up yet as far as I can tell. No. I don't know if it's up since I checked about a day or two ago. Now, did the Azubu TV start? Did they start this because of the OWN shutting down, so they just decided to go their own way? Is that when all of this kind of got put together?
I don't think it really has too much to do with OWN, because I haven't seen anything saying that Azubu TV's kind of inherited infrastructure or staff or anything. But I think it was sometime last year.
In that sense, but more of just in a sense of like OWN was shutting down, because they were on OWN before that, right?
The Azubu team, CLG was on OWN, and Azubu had a partnership with CLG. So then when CLG left OWN, they went to Azubu TV.
Gotcha. So instead of going over to Twitch, or, which is the other game in town, they decided to go their own route and have their own streaming service on their site called Azubu TV. And now just recently we're hearing that Azubu Frost and Blaze have left the Azubu organization.
Yep. Yeah. It's,
and this is over disputes. This is over disputes about Azubu TV, correct?
That's what the public report says, that the teams don't like whatever Azubu is trying to force on them in terms of Azubu TV, kind of like exclusive streaming, or you got to stream 8 hours a day, something, like that. I can only assume, but that's what the actual public report says. Azubu TV policies, the teams don't like them, and they're not going to renew their contract with Azubu. And they didn't, because now they are under CJ Entis. Both they retained their names, so now they're CJ Entis Frost, CJ Entis Blaze. But I gotta wonder, like, Azubu TV policies kind of sounds like a little bit of a cop-out for maybe a bit of more of a deeper meaning, but I don't have anything to back that up.
I mean, and with no data to back it up, right? It could go both ways. It could be sort of strict guidelines on priorities of what they have to adhere to, or, you know, it could even be in a positive way. It's like, maybe, you know, maybe they've taken a route where they said you can't swear, you can't do, like, you know, you can't be fapping on stream, and you're gonna get
I hope that's part of it.
That should be part of the policies over at Azubu TV, because it's happened a lot on other streaming services. With that, also talking about owned. Actually, really quick, what the other rumors are about? What are some of the rumors going on Najin Sword?
Najin Shield.
Najin Shield.
Yeah. The rumor is that they're disbanding. I haven't seen anything solid about it, but that's another, you know, powerful surfacing? Asian team.
Where are we hearing that? Is that Reddit?
I think I saw it on Reddit. News of Legends was on it as well. I think GGC had an article about it, but don't quote me on that one. But it's circulating, this rumor. It is definitely circulating. I haven't seen an official announcement, though.
I'm sure some team player will say something on a stream somewhere. It's usually how you get most of these announcements. Yeah. Like, rumor, and then somebody just gets down and goes, yeah, it's true, we're leaving, we're out of here.
I heard it on Saint's stream. Yeah.
Exactly. So also in the past, I guess, when did Owned TV, the other streaming service in town, shut down? What was that, about 2 weeks ago now? Maybe a week or two ago. So we saw the collapse of Owned TV.
Felt like last week.
Yeah, it felt like it might have been just last week. Some passionate articles hit the interwebs from streamers. Apparently they're on large sums of money. And we also heard about a lot of people switching from Owned over to Twitch. One of those guardsman Bob moving over. And then I know ex-StarCraft 2. Is he an ex-StarCraft 2 player? Pro?
I don't see him ever playing StarCraft anymore.
I don't know. I don't know if he's ex-StarCraft 2, but Destiny wrote a pretty lengthy article about some of the business details that were going on behind the scenes there. Any follow-up on this, though? Any follow-up? I think Own has declared bankruptcy, correct? Yep.
No, they're out of the water. They've turned off their streaming. They're out of the running. I think they had their COO come on to Live on 3. They did an interview with, you know, DJ Wait and Slasher, and I don't actually have the exact quote, but apparently he had no idea how any payment system worked within Owned. That's kind of what I heard from that. So if you're the COO of your company and you don't know how your streamers are getting paid, and they're complaining that they're not getting paid, it's not just one or two streamers, it's consistently across the board. I remember last year, Team Solo Mid swapped out of Owned to Twitch out of the blue, saying that Owned just owed them so much money, and very slowly everyone else has come over now. And it was Guardsman Bob actually putting out the official saying, I'm leaving Owned. That's kind of when Destiny put up like his huge rants in the League of Legends Reddit and the StarCraft Reddit, and just so many different opinions about it. But yeah, Owned is down. They're gone. They're dead.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of people are owed money, but it's also unfortunate that, I mean, from what I hear on the inside, you know, a streaming service is no easy company to run. I mean, the overhead that these companies have is astronomical. When you get into HD streaming, just the cost, the servers, the bandwidth, all that stuff is just insane. So obviously, new business as well, so you don't have a lot to go on. So it looks like Twitch TV, at least for right now, is pretty much the only game in town. Well, you've got Azubu.
There's other options, but
there are other options, but nothing's really taken off for gamers, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Twitch is just very polished at this point. I mean, you can go anytime, and there's at least 100,000 people watching Twitch TV streams. Usually League of Legends in the front, unless there's some kind of big tournaments going on. And even then, big tournaments these days, especially in League of Legends, can run 100,000 to 300,000 people. And these are just not numbers that you're going to see on, you know, YouTube, that you're going to see on Owned. May they rest in peace. And I have no idea how well Azubu TV will hold up in the long run.
Two things with that. One is, let's talk about YouTube for a quick second. Because they have not opened up their live streaming service to like the masses yet. It's to their actual, they have the Hangout thing, but that's not what I'm talking about. But to a very small few amount of people, partners and stuff have actually live streaming access. I mean, they could really dominate the space, I think, if they really wanted to. I mean, it's YouTube.
Well, YouTube by themselves, millions of subscribers across many, many, many channels, right?
And I love Twitch. We stream on Twitch. I love Twitch. Believe me, I love Twitch. But I think it's healthy to have some competition. I hope YouTube actually accelerates this and actually opens up their streaming service to more people, the public, a lot sooner than later to kind of get this going. Now, what about Azubu? Are they going to strictly keep Azubu TV locked down to watch CLG and their properties? Is there any talk about possibly opening this up to the community?
I haven't seen any said talk, but I do know that Azubu TV is listed as a sponsor on the League of Legends Championship Series. So at the very least, Riot is not only going with Twitch, they're also streaming on YouTube right now, but of course, they have special permissions. And the YouTube API has, DVR capability, something that Twitch doesn't have right now. So, we're not going exclusively with Twitch here for League of Legends, and Azubu TV is listed. So I have to wonder if we're going to be seeing LCS on that, or if all the streamers are going to be put onto that simultaneously with Azubu TV and Twitch, or what exactly is going on. But if you can solidify a partnership with League of Legends, you're likely to do well, at least in the short term.
Gonna be interesting to say the least. Shaun Delaney, Forecourt Jester. Follow him on the Twitter at
Forecourt Jester everywhere.
The easy one. He's kind of branded it. He's got Forecourt Jester everywhere. Just do a Google search on Forecourt Jester. And again, be sure to tune in this Friday, the 8th at 5 PST right here on GameBreaker.tv. Go up to the top and click on the live TV page, and he'll be casting the first GBL community casting event. We'll bring beer. You can bring your own beer. Let's bring your own. We'll hang out, have a good time. And of course, we're going to start doing this show live every single Wednesday at 3 PST. Keep you in the loop for all your League of Legends drama. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week. I don't have a graphic title card, so we'll put Netflix back up.
I love Netflix.